Well, the case is receiving national attention for the potential it has to further diminish voting rights here in the U.S. The U.S. Supreme Court hearing oral arguments on whether two Arizona voting laws violate the Constitution. Mark Phillips reports the outcome may ultimately impact how courts decide election law disputes in other states.
The question before the Supreme Court is whether disqualifying the ballots of someone who votes in the wrong precinct or making it illegal for ballot harvesting. That's when one person collects ballots, then either mails them or returns them to a county recorder, is unconstitutional.
If you just can't vote for those reasons and your vote is not being counted, you've been denied the right to vote, haven't you?
For much of the hearing, the justices focused on whether there is a need for Arizona's voting laws.
If it takes one opportunity away, I guess I still don't understand why that isn't reducing the ability of those voters to vote.
The laws were enacted in 2016. The federal district court upheld them, but the Ninth Circuit ruled they violated the Voting Rights Act because they adversely affected Hispanic, African American, and Native American voters.
Having the ability to, send your ballot with your neighbor who's going to the post office would greatly help folks in these communities to vote. And they are certainly disproportionately affected by this kind of law.
Secretary of State Hobbs did not want to appeal the Ninth Circuit ruling. Attorney General Mark Brnovich did. He was among those making the case the Supreme Court should uphold Arizona's voting laws.
And therefore, the court shouldn't strike down state laws unless you can show this discriminatory intent or a substantial impact on the ability of minorities to vote.
Brnovich says less than 0.1% of the votes cast in November were thrown out. That's still too many for voting rights advocates who are concerned the Supreme Court may consider the small number inconvenient, not restrictive.
We should really focus on is, how to be more inclusive rather than less inclusive. But that's what it came down to today. It's like, how much discrimination will we tolerate? How much discrimination will the courts allow us to tolerate?
The court gave no indication when it will decide the matter. Mark Phillips, ABC 15, Arizona.